Hi guys, this is Holly with Curated Homeschooling. Today I wanted to share what we're planning to do in this first unit with our daughter who will be a freshman this coming year. We will be finishing biology early in the year this year. We started discovering design with biology last November and worked through it through the spring, and we have about 4 different chapters or units left in this book that we're going to complete this fall. My daughter and son, who were a sophomore and 8th grader last year, worked through this together, and it worked out to be something that was a positive experience for them both. They were able to kind of have a little bit of a classroom experience where they were able to do the reading together and then work through the on your own questions together and have kind of discussions about what they were reading, and then they were able to study for the tests together, and then they completed their own tests obviously and got their own individual grades, but having that camaraderie and having the ability to discuss the things that they were learning and the things that they were maybe struggling to understand, I found that they were able to kind of motivate each other and have kind of, I don't know, a mutual experience with biology. It's been good, and I think we're going to do something similar with chemistry, though I think that they're going to do it a little bit more independently this year. My daughter loves chemistry and my son doesn't, so that played into that decision. What we're going to be doing is the lessons that pertain to ecology. The last 2 chapters of the book is chapter 15 and 16 on environmental science and ecosystems. It's going to dovetail with learning about the rainforest in South America, which is what the rest of my family is going to be learning about, and it will work out nicely because a lot of the concepts they are going to be learning in these lessons or chapters are going to be the same thing that my younger kids are learning about. They are also working through health and nutrition together this year. We're going to do about 2 modules a month. This is going to be a half credit on their transcript. We will be doing some geography as a family together. We will be using the Memoria Press Geography 3 to do some mapping, and this will be used by the majority of my family, including my 5th grader and my 7th grader and my high schoolers. My 3rd grader probably will not use this particular mapping, but he will probably do mapping with a different workbook that I have. We will also be using This Beautiful World by, it's the South and Central America and Europe by Simply Charlotte Mason. This is their new curricula that just released, and I think that this will be a great thing that we can do on a daily basis to learn about some of the countries. Finally, just for my high schoolers, they're going to continue to work through exploring world geography with Notgrass. We have gone through this curriculum very slowly. They will only be reading the chapters that pertain to South America, and then they will be doing a little bit of worksheets and looking at YouTube videos from Guest Hollow's high school geography. We've also used this for several years now and have just pulled whatever countries or whatever continents that we're learning about at the time. And so we're using week 8 and week 9 during this 4-week unit. This year she's going to be using Denison Algebra to do Algebra 1. She did pre-algebra with Denison Algebra last year. Before that, she was using Nicole the Math Lady to do Saxon, and I think that she would have been okay to have started Denison pre-algebra before before her 8th grade year. She probably could have started it in 7th grade, but last year the pre-algebra came very easy to her, and she feels really ready to start the to start Algebra 1. She has had a really positive experience with this math so far, and she also really enjoyed Saxon with Nicole the Math Lady. That seemed to be a good fit for her. For language arts, this unit, it's going to be a little bit on the light side. I do plan on having a little bit heavier language arts in our second unit, but one of the things I'm going to have her do is read the Elizabeth Elliot autobiography, Through the Gates of Splendor. My daughter is somewhat familiar with Elizabeth and Jim Elliot and what had happened in South America during their time as missionaries, and she has that knowledge because of reading the Elizabeth Elliot Christian Heroes book. So I think that this will be something that she's interested in reading, something that is more of a primary source now that she's a little older. If she's not interested in this, I would be okay with discussing a different book option for her if she wants to switch, but we'll at least give it a good go. She has enjoyed Fix It Grammar series. She's currently on book 4. She finished book 3 last year, and it's been something that she's enjoyed doing independently. She really enjoys spelling, and I just found a couple of spelling books. This is actually, The Worldly Wise is obviously a vocabulary book, but she'll use it as a spelling book where she practices spelling the words. And so I just had these on our shelf. I had a big tub of workbooks that were partially used, so there's probably a couple lessons at the beginning that were used, but then the book ended up not being a good fit for that child or whatever, and so I just throw it into a bin, and then every year I go through and we'll just use up what we have. And so she will probably she'll probably pick one of these 2 books that she enjoys better, and then she will work through this book. Another thing my daughter really has requested to do, and she's requested to do this for several years now, is to learn French. I, however, do not know how to speak French, and I was really hesitant to start her in French because it would be something that would be a discouragement to try to learn a language and then not be able to complete that because of not having a good support system surrounding it. I didn't want her to have an experience like that, I guess, and I just hadn't found a program that was going to work really well for her to be able to do that independently. This year she mentioned again that she really wanted to learn French. She's in ballet, and the teachers in this ballet school speak French in their classes, and at this point she during class has the French language spoken throughout the class, and so she feels like she's at least somewhat exposed to the language and feels like it would be something that would be helpful. I did a lot of research and digging, and I was able to find a new curriculum that just came out through Compass Classroom, and that curriculum is a high school French class. And so we went ahead and got her signed up for that this summer, and she's already completed about 3 weeks of classwork. So far, she's really enjoying it. She feels like it is doable and that she's understanding it. And so I'm really excited that she's feeling that way. And I'm hopeful that this is going to be a positive experience with French for her. It only actually requires 1 textbook. And I was able to find this through an Amazon search. Actually, I don't think I got it on Amazon. It was a Google search, and it brought up some options to be able to purchase it. Maybe we ended up getting it through Amazon, but I think it might have been Thrift Books that we got it. And it is a book that is basically completely in French. And she came to me one of the first weeks and was like, "Mom, I'm able to read this, and I'm also able to understand what this says." And so she was very excited. And the French class is taught by a native English speaker. He does link some natural French speakers to each lesson so that you can hear the native language being spoken, and it has a 5-day lesson plan, so she can just go onto the Compass Classroom and complete each lesson each day. I had some workbooks that were in a bin in our shed that I've had for a very long time that I just came across and ended up keeping, and they're basically unused. And one of them is French, which is the Berean's 3rd edition. I literally think I've had this since high school and didn't learn French. And then I also have French in 10 minutes, which I think I got from a friend a long time ago. Anyhow, I had those and thought that if they would be helpful, that she could fill them out, and if they were just busy work, she didn't have to do that. But I may as well get them out of the shed. Another course that she decided to do this year is a watercolor course. I'm not sure if we're going to call it. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of art history with it. And so I don't know what exactly we're going to name this course yet on her transcript, but she loves watercolor painting. She's done it for a very long time. She really likes the channel that is, what is it? Emma Lefebvre is the content creator, and Emma has a class that she's doing right now in July. It was from the beginning of July all the way to the end that she was doing watercolor painting every day and teaching different techniques. And my daughter's been working through that coursework this summer just for fun. And so I think she's going to continue finishing that coursework out, and then she'll probably just continue to do different techniques and projects that Emma shares on her YouTube channel. And that pretty much is all that I have planned for my freshmen for this first 4 weeks. She has a couple of dance camps that she's going to be doing during that time as well. So I know that there's not any history and that the language arts is a little bit light for that first 4 weeks. But we are going to do our best to just get into some good habits and to start some of the coursework. A lot of this coursework are things that she's going to be doing throughout the entire year. However, there's going to be different things that we add in or maybe don't do during certain units. We will be putting together a unit that's a 10-week unit. I have it actually mostly put together already. And I will show you that when we get to September, but that's what the kids will be working on in September, October, and early November. It'll be covering grace. We will be doing the geography related to Greece. We will be doing a lot of ancient history related to Greece. And we'll be getting into ancient literature as well, like the Odyssey and the Iliad. And Homer. We're going to be doing a little bit of I want to say psychology, but that's not right. Philosophy as well, with Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and Aristotle's rhetoric, where we're going to get into things like critical thinking and making strong arguments. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you would like to continue to watch us on our journey of, being on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe. We've been homeschooling now since my oldest was a preschooler. We have 6 kids from preschool all the way up through junior year at this point. And we are just figuring out the YouTube world and just putting up our very first YouTube videos. So we'll learn as we go, and I think that will be fun. Thanks for joining us. Bye.